Welcome back to Santa Barbara. This one's popped up from Nolan Souza over to the third base side. Josh Livingston calling things off, makes the grab. Nicholas Stander starting things off in this inning with a base knock to left field. And new pitcher for the Saints, Andrew Wright, the left-handed pitcher, in his second appearance of the season. One strikeout, no hits, no earned runs versus the Conejo Oaks 6 days ago.
Yeah, one of the only lefties on the team. Both of these teams very scarce in lefties. Here we get to see one.
This one way inside on Holman. Pinch came in as a pinch hitter for Jesse DiMaggio. Now filling in for DiMaggio, his second plate appearance. Holman RBI single came around to score in the 5th inning. Now we're in the 6th. That was part of the Foresters' surge. Pulled things back to a close ball game. 10-9. Remember, this was an 8-2 ball game at one point. Cole Dunning, 2-run shot. The difference right now. Things have tightened up here. Wright flings that one in the dirt for ball 2.
Yeah, Burge does a great job of keeping it in front of him, keeping that runner at first. So now, a 2-1 count.
Holman 3 for 5 on the year with 2 RBIs. 2 walks, no strikeouts yet in the young season for the UCLA first baseman. Also played a little catcher, too, in his career. Wright wields and fires. Swinging strike to Holman.
6'4". It's a pretty big catcher. A lot of real estate to block the ball, I suppose.
Played with the Foresters in 2022 in 17 games at a home run, 11 RBIs, 13 walks, 12 strikeouts, slashing .229, .375, and .333 here in Santa Barbara. Wright flings this one, chopped left side, hopped strangely for Adrian Lopez, who catches up to it in foul territory, but 2 on now, and the tying run over at second base.
Yeah, it was going to be a tough play either way. Would have had to throw across his body over to first. Probably weren't going to get the double play. Maybe could have got the runner at first. Either way, would have been tough.
How about the day for Addison Klepsch today so far? Has reached base every single one of his at-bats. 2 singles, came around to score both times, and a hit by pitch came around to score to end the 5th inning. Now, 1 out here, 2 on. Foresters trying to look for their first lead of today. Potentially a extra base hit away from that. First pitch strike.
You know, with the way these two teams have been running the bases, even a single could potentially bring in a run.
It's not even really the way that they've run the bases. It's more the poor defense, the poor miscues and throwing errors that we've seen, a slew of them in this game. 1-1 count to Klepsch. Remember, Klepsch has not played a collegiate game yet. A rising freshman at Auburn, has been so productive this season. Burge flings on to second to keep Sanders over there, and he gets back in time. Sanders at second, Holman at first. Souza popped out in between them. Right a strike away from having 2 outs in this inning. Klepsch watches that one. Strike. Should be strike 3, but it's actually strike 2. Oh, no, it is strike 3. Okay.
I thought I might have been wrong for a second. But no, strike 3, and a big strike 3. 1 out to get out of this inning now.
It's almost as if he didn't realize it was strike 3. I don't even know if the umpire did, too. But I think there was eventually a, yeah, you're out of here. 3 strikes. You don't get 4. Dominic Smaldino back for his 4th plate appearance. A bases-loaded opportunity with no outs.
Awkward catch there for Burge. Did a good job not letting it get between his legs to the backstop.
Yeah, that ball gets past him, and those runners are advancing 90 feet to second and third. Smaldino struck out with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th.
And the way the defense has been playing. You might even consider going to home on a play like that.
Who knows? Smaldino, big cut, looked just a tad in front of it, or else that one would have been crushed towards the left side. Chopped it foul instead.
Yeah, it takes a lot of big swings. We saw in his last at-bat, swing and misses, but if he could connect on one of those, you know he has the power.
Coming in this game, 2 for 8 with 3 RBIs, 2 strikeouts. He's already added 2 strikeouts to his tally now up to 4 on the young season. 5th game for the Foresters this season. High school, he was 2023 first team All-Orange County from Ladera Ranch, California. Another swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Smaldino. Just has not been able to catch up to anything today. He's been trying to hammer the ball and is only hammering himself into a hole.
A lot of Cal Berkeley guys on both sides today.
Smaldino, a Cal Berkeley guy. This one low. Burge, now a Cal Berkeley guy, announcing his transfer yesterday. Joined Joey Donnelly in Berkeley. 2-2 now. 2 outs, 2 on. 6th inning, 10-9, Saints lead. Andrew Wright trying to get out of this inning. The lefty versus righty matchup. Flings the 2-2. This one popped up, way up in the infield. Lopez calling, Dudding off to make the grab. To the 7th we go. Saints clinging on to a 1-run lead. 10-9 here in Santa Barbara. Back to Santa Barbara for the 7th inning. Here, 10-9 ball game at Eddie Matthews Field. Here, the home of the Santa Barbara High School Dons. Shea went back on the bump for another inning. Gave up that 2-run shot to Cole Dudding that has proved to be the difference so far, but still 3 innings left to play, and this game very interesting.
Yeah, definitely still up for grabs. Could be anybody's game. Only a 1-run difference. With Ray Bermudez up to the plate now.
So 7th inning, 7-8-9 due up. Ray Bermudez's 4th plate appearance today, has not reached base safely yet. Flew out in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 3rd, and then popped out to first base in the 5th inning, still searching for that hit on base streak. He's currently at 4 games. He's reached bases in every appearance so far, and so far today has not had that moment. Swing and a miss for Bermudez, strike 1.
And can I make a bold claim here?
Okay, go for it.
I think he has the best drip on the team.
Best drip on the team. That's a solid take. I mean, who else are you putting in that conversation?
Maybe Burge. Maybe Donnelly.
Maybe Adrian Lopez too. I think Adrian Lopez has got good.
Yeah,
good
you're
drip.
right. I think it's the red gloves.
Could be the red gloves. Quickly in an 0-2 hole, though. Can the red gloves get him out of it? That one bounced in the dirt. Right off the chest protector for Sanders behind home plate. Bixby was the starter today. Chased after just 2 innings, allowed 4 runs. Saints got to him early.
Heater just wasn't working for him.
Went, throws the breaking ball, strike 3 looking, and a 4-pitch K for Went.
Yeah, and that was just a nice pitch, just dropped into the zone. Able to get a strikeout looking there.
How about Alex Burge's day today? Came into today with a .571 on-base percentage and has done nothing but continue to get on base in this one. 2 walks, came around to score in his last 2 plate appearances, singled back in the second, and came around to score that time too. Trying to make it even 4 for 4 in terms of making it on base. Watch his first pitch strike, however. Burge was tied for second on the team in home runs, 5th in RBIs, 3rd in slugging last season with the Saints. Only batter to return to Pasadena for summer 2024. Cole Dudding on deck. Burge fouls this one back 0-2.
This is what Went has been doing to a lot of batters. He's been able to get ahead 0-2. Get some pitches to work with. We'll see if he goes out of the zone here.
0-2, Went. Winds and fires another strike, so how about back-to-back strikeouts for Shea Went? Struck out the last batter of the 6th inning, so it's 3 in a row for Went. Got Ryan Scott swinging, Bermuda swinging, and Burge looking.
Yeah, already 2 looking strikeouts as well. He's fooling these hitters. They think it's not going to be a strike, and it ends up making its way into the zone.
Cole Dudding, last at-bat he had was a home run to left center field to put 10 on the scoreboard for the Saints. First pitch strike there from Went. Went. Breaking ball, big swing from Dudding, trying to recreate that moment in the 5th. Put in an 0-2 hole with 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the 7th. Went nods at the second pitch. Fires just inside for ball 1, just nibbling the edge of home plate.
Was that nearly a 9-pitch inning?
Nearly. Nope, it wasn't. The first at-bat was 4 pitches. Would have been really nice, but a strike nonetheless. So how about 4 in a row for Shea Went? Absolutely dealing, keeping the Foresters in the game. 10-9 to the bottom of the 7th we go. Foresters, they're hanging around.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 at the top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound. The Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo didn't get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Welcome back to Santa Barbara. past the 7th inning stretch. 10-9 the score. The Saints on top by 1. Pinch hitter Drew Markle coming in for Jackson Freeman. Freeman, productive day. 2 hits, a double, and a bunt single. Both brought in RBIs as Markle slams this one towards center field, right up in the air and right over to Jacob Shart for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out.
I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but another player that is 6'4".
Yeah.
What factory are these guys coming out of in Santa Barbara?
They're fielding.
That just produced these giants.
They're fielding a rec league basketball team. That's what they're doing. They happen to disguise as a baseball team. Tough start to the year for Drew Markle. Couldn't quite get into it, but now 3 for 22. Batting average below 140 as order turns over for Jack Bollinger. His second at bat. Andrew Wright still on the bump for the Saints. Bollinger popped out to Lopez at shortstop in his first plate appearance. This time bunts down the third base line. Wright's going to barehand this throw on a first. Not in time. Bollinger playing a little old school baseball, bunting his way on base.
Yeah, that's already 2 we've seen today. 1 from Freeman. Now 1 from Bollinger.
So how about a bunt single for Jack Bollinger and Jonah Sebring, who was intentionally walked last time up after the 2-run shot in the 4th. Also singled, was caught stealing in the 2nd, walked in the 1st, has had a very productive day, reaching base in all of his plate appearances, 4 in total. Wright pitches inside, a strike on the inside half of the plate to start Sebring off. 10-9 ball game here in Santa Barbara. The temperature's definitely cooled down.
Definitely felt like a while for it to cool down.
This one is launched towards left field, over the fence for a home run. So how about the Foresters? Down 8-2, now lead 11-10, a 2-run blast from Jonah Sebring, his 2nd of the game in his first game for the Foresters.
Yeah, and I mean, now you see why they intentionally walked him in his last at-bat.
Two-run home for Jonah Sebring, and the Foresters now lead 11-10. And what a turn of events we've seen this afternoon for the Saints. Just a palooza of power. 3rd home run of the game between these two teams. Sebring 2nd. Now the Saints find themselves in a hole as Wright gives up a 2-run blast to left. Couldn't quite see it as it hooked down the foul pole. Pompey, big swing, trying to make it back-to-back home runs for this Foresters squad.
And if you're right, you just can't let that get to you, right? You need to finish this inning.
Pompey, a 2nd-team freshman All-American in 2024, an All-Big 12 freshman team guy, an All-Big 12 guy, too. It's on a 4-game hit streak after the infield single to start things off in the 1st. 2-1 the count. Right? Flings that one. This one popped up to shallow center field. Lopez ranging back. Dudding will make the catch. Poor communication in center field between the middle infielders and Shart, but the Saints able to come up with the out.
Yeah, you know, no harm, no foul, right? Still got the out. Just next time need to work on the communication, calling someone off. But there's 2 away now.
Really sloppy game so far between these two teams. A slew of defensive errors. We've seen 3 runs. And you mentioned maybe some of the heat. This game starting a little earlier in the day. Maybe the potential for some long balls, and we've seen it here. Sanders digs back in for his 5th plate appearance. Walked and singled in his last 2. Flew out in his first 2 plate appearances. Wright starts him off with the ball. 1-0 count. Sanders gets really low in that batting stance. Burge had to step up to snag that one.
Stance kind of reminds me little bit of like a Soto just from the right side.
It's super low, very athletic posture. Watches that strike for strike 2. Two won the count. That'll even the count at 2-2 after the swinging strike. Jonah Sebring, what a game for him in his first appearance with the Foresters this season. 2 home runs. First CCL player to hit 2 this season. Does it in his first game.
Yeah, talk about a debut.
Talk about a debut, yeah. Just polishing off the power. This Foresters team has now hit 3 home runs in the last 2 games. That ball low for ball 4.
Yeah, no, we came into this game not seeing any home runs in previous games, at least for me.
I hadn't seen one either.
And now we've seen 3.
Or no, Cam Cummings had a home run for the Crawdads earlier this week in the leadoff spot on Tuesday against the Saints. But other than that, it had been very quiet. Get a little conversation here. Foresters maybe asking for something.
Not sure what they would be.
What's the
asking for.
mentality from this Saints squad? They've been resilient at times this season before. They've come back. They've had big moments. They had a walk-off already this season. But what do you have to do after you've led this entire game but now trail?
I think it's important to not change what you've been doing. I mean, you have 10 runs, right? It's not an extremely large deficit. You're only down 1 run, so you just got to, stay in your stuff.
Foresters will call timeout.
Not sure what's going on here, but
we mentioned earlier in the broadcast how Santa Barbara's been really just a tough place for the Saints to play. Over the past 3 years, the Saints 8-11-1 against the Foresters, but just 2-6-1 at Santa Barbara. We'll get a pinch runner over there at first base for Sanders. And Dylan Fishborough will be the pinch runner.
I don't think it's really for, any tactical sort of reasons for the pinch runner. Maybe some discomfort in Sanders. Maybe something happened on the way to first.
Fishbow, typically an outfielder. Interesting to see how that lines things up defensively. Only has 1 appearance this season against Ventura County Pirates. This one popped up left side. Souza. It's a long run, and that's in fair territory. Ball was dropped in left field. A run will score, so how about a pinch runner coming around from first? And Souza over there at third base. Couldn't quite see exactly what happened in left field.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. Our view's kind of cut off over here. But it's going to bring in some runs.
Nonetheless, the score 12-10 now. Runner on third. Dylan Fishbow coming in as a pinch runner,
and
making his way all the way around.
With 2 outs, you're running on contact anyways, and so the runner on first just kept going all the way, able to score easily. I mean, that's going to make things a little bit tougher for the Saints. We were just talking about, the mentality going into the next inning. Umpires, we're discussing something.
And the run's not going to count, actually. It might have been I think what they're going to call is a ground rule double, because they're sending Souza back to second, and they're sending Fishborough back to third. So 11-10 ball game. They're going to call it a ground rule double. Once again, couldn't quite see what happened in that left field area. Maybe the ball bounced into kind of no man's land.
Could have maybe.
We'll figure out. We'll get a confirmation.
I'm thinking maybe the ball got stuck in the fencing or something.
We'll let you guys know in the top of the 8th when we come back from break. But nonetheless, score still remains unchanged. Runners on second and third for Wright. Now just has to worry about Jack Holman, who's already had a pretty good day, 2 at-bats, 2 singles.
Yeah, the Saints kind of catch a little bit of a break there. We thought they were going to be down 2, still only down 1.
And this one is pummeled left field. Shart calling Scott off. He said he had it, and he does. So just that 2-run blast by Jonah Sebring, his second of the season. Now leads the CCL in home runs with 2. Only player coming into today, no players coming in today had 2 home runs. He's the first to do it. Shea went back on the bump for the Foresters. To the 8th we go. Shea went still on the bump for the Foresters. 11-10 the score. Foresters lead by 1 after the home run by Sebring, and promised that we'd have an update on what kind of happened there. And basically what happened in the bottom of the 7th was Ryan Scott tried to make a play in left field. The ball was in fair territory, and then it went off his glove and into the bullpen. The Saints bullpen there in left field, so it was ruled a ground rule double. That's why it didn't come around to score.
And that's going to benefit the Saints, right? You know, they're only down 1. Thought they were down 2.
Shart watches that one high. Ball 2, 2-1 the count.
Still got some work to do, though.
Shart has reached base in every single plate appearance he's had. 3 singles and a walk in a 2-2 count now. Cam Conley on deck. 3 RBI single. Shart bounces this one down the left side. Kind of a swinging bunt, and he's going to reach base safely. How about 4 singles? A 4-for-4 day with a walk. That's a great day for the on-base percentage. So a leadoff single, the top of the order with 1-2-3 due up. Conley here, Lopez on deck, and Livingston in the hole. Exactly the guys you want up at the top of the lineup when you trail by 1 run in the 8th.
I mean that's why he bats at the top of the lineup, because he can get on base. That's really what you need here.
But that's the thing with Shart, though, is before yesterday was batting in the lower half of the lineup. I think he was batting in the 7 hole against the Crawdads. But yesterday, replacing Crew McChesney at the top of the lineup. McChesney was supposed to go at the beginning and didn't end up going. So Shart filled in as the leadoff guy and has played fantastically since. Went 2-for-4 with 2 runs yesterday. Has gone 4-for-4 with 2 runs and a walk today. The Foresters
Apparently going to the pen.
might be going to the pen here. The PA announcing a new pitcher, but nothing has happened so far.
Went has been solid, right, in the few innings that he's worked. They are going to the pen.
They're going to go to the pen, indeed. People looking over there. The new pitcher looks like it's going to be Will Rogers from Michigan. Let's just confirm that. That will end Wednesday. Rogers a two-way player. Catcher and right-handed pitcher. He's at Arizona State in 22 and 23. At Michigan last season for his first year in the Big Ten. An 11-10 ball game. And it's really been an afternoon of swings and lead changes. The Saints led 8-2 at one point, but now trail 11-10, and they got things started right with Jacob Sharp leading things off with a walk.
And I mean, it's kind of been a mix of both, just really like an explosion of offense, powerful swings, and also a lack of defensive prowess. Right, we've seen a lot of miscues, a lot of mishaps, especially on the base paths. And both of those things kind of add up to, to a 10-11 game, just a high-scoring affair.
But if you're the Saints, this is exactly what you want, right? You've got 2, 3, 4 after Sharp. And these are the batters that have been so good for the Saints this season.
And, I mean, this might be a controversial, thing to bring in a new pitcher when he was dealing. I mean, I would say he was dealing. He was getting out of innings really efficiently, really quickly. And so, this could maybe not work out in the way the Foresters may hope.
Rogers last pitched on the 8th. That was a week ago, last Saturday against the Blues. 1 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 save in that appearance. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. That was the only appearance of the season. Also has 11 plate appearances, or 12 plate appearances this season for the Foresters. Played 28 games for Edmonton in the West Coast League and 12 games for Wareham. The Gatemen in the Cape Cod League in 2022 with the Foresters last year. Hit .297, .352, 438. That was his slash line in 32 games. Led the team with 4 home runs, but as a pitcher only pitched in 1 game, and the pitching has been something that he's kind of added to in his time, especially at Michigan. 2 and 4, with a 5.94 ERA at Michigan with 53 innings pitched. 42 strikeouts, 22 walks with the Wolverines in 2024. As Cam Conley digs in. Watches strike 1 on the off speed. Rogers from Shoreview, Minnesota.
Heard some chattering in the Foresters dugout saying, give him the fastball.
Conley will bloop this into shallow center. It gets down for a base hit. Not a great piece of hitting, but it works off. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
So 2 on now. Still no outs.
And Adrian Lopez, we've mentioned this multiple times, right? The strikeouts have been an issue this season. And struck out in his first at-bat, walked in his second, singled and came around to score in his 3rd at-bat and flew out to center in his 4th at-bat. This is his 5th plate appearance. But a strikeout here is probably the worst thing that you could do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's the worst thing you could do at any time.
But especially in this moment, when you're trying to come back into this game, you're down a run, 8th inning, big spot. Definitely seen what Lopez can do coming to this game with a .714 BABIP. That's batting average on balls in play. Lays off that for ball 1.
Yeah, that was a good layoff. You can see, thought about swinging. Good discipline at the plate.
And that seemingly happened a couple times today with Lopez. Has thought about swinging. He's been a little bit more disciplined. Watches strike 1.
And this could probably just be his way of addressing the strikeout issue, right? Trying to be more disciplined at the plate.
11-10 the score, 2 on, no outs, 1-1 the count here in the 8th. Will Rogers on the mound taking over for Shea Went. Rogers giving up the single from Conley. This one lifted to right field. Easy out for him. Out there and right. And Shart trying to advance to third. Very aggressive base running. Will get in there only because the throw was kind of off the line.
Yeah, and so Lopez, he's going to move the runner over. And so while, you know, he didn't get a hit, right, at least he made contact, got it out to the outfield. Still just 1 out now, and a fly ball could bring in a run.
So runners on the corners, 1 out. Saints trail by 1. The fly out to right field for Lopez. It's Bollinger who's taken over for Caden Peterson. This game starting at 4:30, just reaching the 3-hour mark here, only in the 8th inning. Livingston watches strike 1. To be fair, we have seen 21 runs cross the plate between these two teams combined. It's been a fun afternoon in Santa Barbara. Here, Eddie Matthews Field. Rogers checks on Conley first. Conley's got speed on the base paths. Would not be surprised if maybe he tried to advance to second, putting pressure on catcher to make a play.
Yeah, and by, you know, if he were to steal second, he would take out.
And he got him off the bag. Rogers turns, fires to first, and gets Conley. So a huge and critical mistake. Now 2 outs here. It's the Foresters' dugout to their feet.
Did not know there was a zoo in the vicinity. Kind of sounds like some zoo animals hollering over there.
Livingston, huge moment.
But I was going to say a stolen base would have taken the double play ball out of effect, but no need anymore.
Livingston lays off that one. 1-1 the count, 2 outs after Conley gets clipped at first. Shart at third. Tying run just 90 feet away here in the 8th inning. Rogers winds and fires, 1-1. This one belted up behind us. Watch your heads, people sitting in the stands. I think it might have hit like the top of a house, the roof of a house behind home plate here.
I don't know. It hit something, and it hit it with velocity.
1-2 to Livingston, 2 outs. Rogers trying to get this to the bottom of the 8th. Livingston belts this one left side out of play. So they'll do it again. The dance continues, 1-2, 2 outs. Saints trail by 1 with the tying run 90 feet away, and Jacob Shart standing on the bag. Cam Conley clipped it first. Saints had runners on the corners with 1 out. 1-2, they'll do it again. Swing and a miss. And Josh Livingston, unhappy with himself, strands the tying run on third to the bottom of the 8th. We go here in Santa Barbara. 8th inning here in Pasadena. A little weird because here in Take Me Out to the Ball Game, they forgot to do it in the 7th inning stretch, so I guess they did it in the 8th inning stretch. But you know what? You learn new things every day. Santa Barbara has been the host of a fantastic baseball game this afternoon. 11-10 Foresters lead, and in comes Kobe Minchie. His 3rd appearance of the year, 6.0 ERA, 3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 hits. Last appeared against the Crawdads on Tuesday. Pitched 2 innings in that one, 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, facing 11 batters, and really struggled to control his fastball. That's something we talked to him about earlier this week when we got a chance to interview him. Mentioned that the off-speed stuff was working, but the fastball couldn't really locate. See that one in there for ball 1 inside, once again going to the heater.
I mean, if he can locate it, it's a deadly pitch.
You know, throw in the mid-90s. Klepsch trying to catch up to that one, fouls it off, evens the count at 1-1. And Minchie, we saw him be pretty productive in the first outing of the year against the Riptide, picking up the save with a scoreless 9th inning, allowing just a walk. Also struck out a batter. That was 8 days ago on opening night in Irvine. She tosses the 1-1 in there for strike 2, and fastball's working. Bottom of the 8th here in Santa Barbara, 11-10 the score. Saints trailing by 1, and Minchie with the strikeout, his 5th of the season.
Yeah, he elevated that fastball and just pushed it right past the batter. Good strikeout. Trying to be really effective in this inning and really just help the Saints get through to the next.
Pinch hitter here for Dominic Smaldino. It's going to be Johnny Rodriguez. Long Beach State's rising sophomore has played in 5 games this year. 4 for 16, batting .250, on base percentage at .294. Struck out twice. He's got hits in 4 of his last 5 appearances. No multi-hit games this year for the Long Beach State infielder. Watch his first pitch ball outside. Minchie continuing to throw heat. It's kind of his MO. Also his ammo.
Good one.
You know, I try sometimes. 1-0, sped right past Rodriguez for a strike. Continuing to throw the heater.
Like I said previously, you know, when it's on, it's super effective. When it's off, it could be kind of detrimental.
We saw a couple wild pitches from Minchie last appearance. This one chopped over to Lopez. Strong throw over to first to nab Rodriguez. So 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th.
Now batting for the Foresters, sponsored by D and Vaughn with it's Drew Markle.
Drew Markle, pinch hitter.
I mean, that's really what they need from Minchie. They just need him to get through these innings, you know, try not to let anybody on base, get through these innings fast and efficiently. That's what he's been doing, so just 1 more out. The Saints get another chance to bat.
Markle came in as a pinch hitter for Jackson Freeman in his last at-bat, flew out to center before we could really give you any backstory. As he first pitch swinging again, this one through the right side. It's his 4th hit of the season. Now 4 for 23. 3 singles and a double. Markle, after a really tough start to the year, could be a turning point after a big game yesterday where he went 2 for 4 with a double, an RBI. Scored a run in that game too, so now 3 hits in 2 days for the Ole Miss infielder. That'll bring Bollinger back up at the top of the lineup. That one outside for ball 1.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see some aggression on the base paths here. Maybe a steal.
2 outs, no harm, no foul. Minchie tossed to first, and this one gets past Donnelly. Markle's going to scamper over to third, so an error by Donnelly. That ball was in his glove. It popped off just the top of it, and now an insurance run 90 feet away from home plate for the Foresters. And this game really has felt like the momentum has switched to the Foresters, and it's kind of gotten away from the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, at one point it was 8-2, like you said. Saints only scored 2 runs since then. The Foresters now up to 11, so the Saints are really going to need to do something about that at the top of the next inning.
Bollinger at Westmont College, previously at Sacramento State, Cabrillo College, and Folsom Lake College. Played with the Anchors in the CCL in 2023. 2022 with the Foresters, 9 plate appearances in 3 games, no hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Singled last time he was up. 3 for 11 prior coming into this game. That one hammered right at us. Thank God there's a wooden, I guess, grate and a fence, or else that was taking either my shins off or your shins off.
I think it might have been mine. That was pretty scary. I'm not going to lie, I flinched a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a tad. That's fair. To be fair, that was rocketed right at where we're sitting, just down the third base side near home plate. Eddie Matthews Field. This one hits Bollinger. That pitch from Minchie gets away. So now runners on the corners, 2 outs here with the Saints trailing by 1 in the 8th.
Yeah, scary situation now. Minchie started the inning off 2 straight, putaways. But now he's got 2 runners on base.
And a super dangerous hitter in Jonah Sebring up at the dish.
But, I mean, how likely is a 3 home run night? Like,
no. When you say that, then you bring it into play.
You're right.
But the 2 home runs, the 4 RBIs, also had a single, a walk, and an intentional walk between his home runs. He was like, yeah, you're going to intentionally walk me? Well, watch me do this. Hammers another one to left field, hit the first one to more or less center field. And runners on the corners to Sebring as Minchie first pitch tugged for a ball. So runners on first and third. She tosses that one just off the edge for ball 2.
Yeah, that fastball starting to get away from him. Was able to control it to the first 2 batters, but starting to see it loosen up.
2-0 count. Minchie flings this one in there for strike 1, and that's a big one. Difference between 2-1 and 3-0 is drastic, especially at this part of the ball game here. And sun starting to set, not quite yet. It's only 7:39, but this game started at 4:30. Well over 3 hours now. Runner going. Bollinger on his horse to second. Really good play by Dudding to keep that ball in, but excellent base running by Drew Markle, scampering from third, home for an insurance one. 12-10 ball game now here in Santa Barbara. An interesting decision for Burge to even throw that ball.
Yeah, no, and that was also just heads-up base running by the Foresters. I thought, by Dudding getting it in front of him, keeping it in the infield, that nothing would come from that, but the Foresters just took the opportunity and ran away with it.
This game has not necessarily gotten out of hand yet, but has gotten away from the Saints. And it's been the defensive miscues. It's been misses offensively, errors. It's been sloppy baseball today. That's makes sense when there's a 12-10 ball game here in the 8th. So after a single, 2-out single for Drew Markle, hit by pitch to Bollinger, now Sebring, and a 3-2 count. This one popped up left side. Lopez will have it. 3 down. So to the 9th inning we go. Foresters add 1 on a Drew Markle smart base running play from third base up to home. Single to get things going with 2 outs, but a 2-out run for the Foresters. They're up 2. To the 9th we go in Santa Barbara.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound. Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the ninth for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Five, 6, 7 due up here. It's Donnelly, Scott, and Bermudez. 12-10 the score. Foresters up by 2. Rogers still on the bump after getting the Foresters through that 8th inning when the Saints inch closer. Shart, the tying run at that point, only 90 feet away on third base, but the Saints stranding him and Cam Conley getting clipped off first. 0-1 to Donnelly, swings through that, strike 2, 0-2.
Yeah, now it's do or die time, right? And Donnelly's been swinging a pretty hot bat, so hopefully he can get something going here, but he's already down 0-2.
Has 2 doubles today, came around to score in the second as part of a 4-run second inning. The Saints put up 4 runs in the 4th and 2 runs in the 5th, but since then have been very quiet as the Foresters have come back to take a 2-run lead. 1-2 in the dirt, ball 2, evens the count at 2-2. Rogers flings the 2-2. Donnelly chops it foul. Hard hit right down the line, but pushed it to the right of first base into the bullpen for the Foresters.
Pretty dangerous spot there. Kind of reminds me of like the San Francisco Giants at a bullpen like that, right?
2-2 on the way. Just missed the strike zone. That one looked really close. Full count now, 3-2. Donnelly working in this at-bat.
Yeah, good job of battling back down 0-2.
Payoff pitch from Rogers. Gun for strike 3 swinging, and that's a huge one for the Foresters.
Now batting for the Saints, Ryan Scott.
It's back-to-back strikeouts for Rogers. Ended the 8th inning, striking out Josh Livingston, swinging and starts the 9th inning, striking out Joey Donnelly. Scott has a couple strikeouts today. Swings at the dirt for strike 1 here, and it just has not been Ryan Scott's day.
Yeah, no, and in this spot, you have to stay disciplined. You have to take what the pitcher gives you. You can't be swinging at balls like that. He does a good job of taking that one.
Lays off that. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Didn't get fooled twice. 1-1 count, 1 out. Saints trail by 2. This one chopped right back up the middle. Pompey throws on to first for the 2nd out of the inning, and now the Foresters 1 out away from a huge comeback victory. Trying to tie the Saints atop the standings of the CCL South.
I mean, this is going to be an interesting matchup between these two teams to watch later in the season.
Still have 2 more meetings as Bermudez rips this one. deep center field to the wall and gone. How about a home run from Ray Bermudez to center field over the head of Jonah Sebring, and this is quickly a one-run ball game. But that run by the Foresters in the bottom of the 8th, that one was huge.
Yeah, but this is great for the momentum, right? You know, you got 2 outs. A guy hits a home run, there's still that chance. You just need one more run, right? That gives you just a little bit more of hope.
So 2 home runs for the Saints in this ball game. Alex Burge, who's reached base 3 times so far. First pitch swinging, fouls it off. Struck out looking last time he was up. Part of a 1-2-3 7th inning. Two outs. Burge laying off, saying absolutely not swinging at that. Count even, 1-1. Burge representing the tying runner. Saints down to their last out. And he gets hit there right on the shin. No protector. So he has to hobble off. And Cole Dudding, now the leading run, back for another plate appearance. He had the home run in the 5th inning. Came around to score after a double in the 4th. He's got 2 runs struck out in the 7th. But it's one big hit away from tying this ball game.
Yeah, I'm surprised he was able to just walk that off. A hit in the shin, especially on that front and side. A lot of bone, not a whole lot of protection.
Dudding lays off that one. Didn't go. Checked down to the first base umpire. So ball 1 to Dudding. Bermudez giving the Saints a glimmer of hope after a home run to straightaway center. 12-11 ball game. It's been a fun one here in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, a whole lot of balls leaving the park here, which we haven't seen in any previous games. Uh-oh.
It's been a fiesta of firepower. We've seen 4 home runs today. Burge limping off.
That hit by pitch kind of caught up to him. Thought he might be fine, but, I mean, understandable. I mean, the shin is just a terrible place.
There's going to be a pinch runner into the game. Easton Elliott over at first base now for Burge. Also gives them a little bit more speed on the base paths. The Oral Roberts, an infielder, played center field 2 for the Saints this year. First-tile player, and now getting an opportunity as a pinch runner. Check over to first. That ball gets past the first baseman, so he'll clamber over to second. Now rounding second base to third base. A huge mistake for the Saints, and if that ball is not picked at third base by Klepsch, that is a game-tying run.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, right, to get the runner on third. A single definitely brings him in, right? Before, you know, a single, he's, you know, probably not coming in, but now a single could turn this ballgame around.
So Burge is hit by a pitch, then doesn't feel quite confident about his leg, gets pinch ran for by Easton Elliott. Ball gets past the first baseman over there.
All with 2 outs.
And all with 2 outs, too. Bermudez hitting the home run, too, with 2 outs.
How can we not forget, or how can we forget about that?
The loud run on the board. That's Johnny Rodriguez at first base, unable to make that play there. Ball gets past him. Elliott runs over to third base, and now just 90 feet away from tying this game up in back-to-back innings. Cole Dudding, the 9-hole hitter. Big moment here for him. Watches this pitch, swinging, chops it foul over to Jacob Shart, who makes a very nice barehanded play. Toss it back to the Foresters' dugout. Dudding had the home run earlier, the double 3 RBI, swings through that one. Down 1-2. So how about 1-2 count, 2 outs, runner on third, 12-11 ball game, bottom of the 9th. Couple Foresters fans on their feet clapping. 1-2 on the way. Dudding chops this one left side. It's going to be a tough play for Klepsch. Strong throw all the way over. Did he get him? It was foul. That was a bang-bang play at first. Almost came into the hands of the umpire in a tight play. Would not have had video referee,
yeah,
but they'll do it again. Getting the heart going.
Yeah, that really could have went either way, too. I mean, he was on his horse over to first. And you can hear it from the fans here. They're definitely getting the heart race up.
My heart rate is up. Can only imagine what it's for Dudding. A 1-2 count. Rogers on the bump. They'll do it again. Takes 2 to tango, and they'll continue the dance here in Santa Barbara. 12-11, ninth inning. 1-2 count on the way. They wanted strike 3 looking just inside. Dudding will live to see another pitch. 2-2.
And it's important to stay disciplined here in this position. A lot of guys might get jumpy, swing at, really anything, but good job of laying off that one. Gets called for a ball.
Rogers rips the 2-2. This one popped straight up into the air, ranging over, and it's Klepsch to end things in the ninth. Saints lose a heartbreaker, 12-11. Bermudez with a home run in the ninth to give the Saints a glimmer of hope, but back-to-back innings stranding the game-tying run at third, and the Saints just ended up collapsing.
Yeah, and you can't really get mad at the Saints for, their offense. They scored 11 runs in this one. It was just a game of mistakes on both sides, right? The defense was just sloppy for both teams today, and Foresters just come out on top.
Really tough game for the Saints in this one. These two teams will still meet each other 2 more times this season. Saints got to Mason Bixby early, the starter for Santa Barbara. Got 4 runs off him in 2 innings. Got 4 runs off Reed Hensley in 2 innings. Picked up 3 runs the rest of the way. And for the Saints, it was Caleb Reyes going 4 innings, allowing 5 runs, striking out 5, walking 3, hitting another batter. But at the end of the day, the defense just not good enough. Even with the Palooza of offense, now the Saints move to 3-1 in games that they score 6 or more runs. Move to 1-1 on the road, 4-2 on the season. The Foresters will move to 4-2, join the Saints atop the standings in the CCL South. But these two teams will meet each other later in the season. And that'll be a very much anticipated matchup. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, only 2 more games for these two teams to face each other in the season, but they're going to be good ones just like this. These are 2 of the top teams in the CCL South. I'm just excited to watch them play again. That was a close, unfortunate, heartbreaking loss for the Saints.
So much power displayed. 4 home runs we saw, 2 from each team. The next meeting between these two teams, Wednesday, June 26th at 6:05 at Jackie Robinson Stadium. Join us on Tuesday as the Saints take on the Academy Barons in Compton. That'll be on Tuesday the 18th at 6:05. Evan Davis and Adam Beck will be on the call for that. David will get the day off. But, David, it's been a pleasure in the booth with you today. For David Matamoros, I've been Adam Beck. So long, Saints baseball. They fall in Santa Barbara 12-11.